or welcome back to my channel. I'm Imi, I'm the girl behind Imi Knits on Instagram and TikTok, and today I want to make a Babaà sweater dupe. I know this has been going around as a trend on social media and I'm kind of hopping on the bandwagon with this video, and I wanted to vlog the process of making this project. So I have a specific Babaà in mind for this video. It is the sweater number 11, which I will put here so you can see it. I have the perfect yarn for this sweater in stash, which is something that I got a while back in Copenhagen, and it's 100% wool, which is something that I think is important for a Babaà dupe. Babaà is a Spanish knitwear company, if you don't know them, and they prioritize ethics and sustainability, and they use all natural materials such as cotton and wool in all of their knits. So I wanted to select 100% wool for this project to kind of stay true to the original inspiration. A couple of other things that I wanted to make sure to include in my version of this sweater are the same drop shoulder design that the inspo has, an Italian bind off around the neck, cuffs and bottom hem, and I also kind of wanted to shorten the neck a little bit but maintain the level of oversize in the picture that I've shown. I know that Babaà only make one size of each of their knits, so it may fit differently depending on your measurements, but for me I want it to fit quite oversized, and obviously since I'm making the project I have ultimate control over just how much positive ease I can incorporate. So I'm going to look for a pattern that already includes positive ease in the design, but I think I may end up sizing up on top of that just to get this extra oversized look that I'm going for. There's a couple of patterns in the running for this project, the first of which is the Ozetta Lakes pullover. Again, I'll pop a picture here. I'm also considering the Nest sweater by Morsa Knits and the Winter's pullover by Ozetta as well. Each of these patterns incorporates all of the design elements that I'm looking for, and I'm just deciding between them to see which one is most accurate to my inspiration. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'll tell you which pattern I end up choosing and kind of take you along on the process from beginning to end, and hopefully we'll have a great finished product that I can talk about soon. I just wanted to quickly hop back on because I have decided that I'm going to go with the Nest sweater by Morsa Knits. This pattern is just the closest, I think, to the Babaà sweater number 11, and since I'm really going for kind of an exact dupe, or as close as I can get, I'm gonna go for a pattern that I think looks the most similar. So that's what I've chosen. I haven't seen much online about this sweater. Maybe it's just my algorithm and I'm not really the target audience, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I am the target audience because I like to knit, but yeah, I haven't seen a lot about this pattern, so I'm kind of curious to try this designer. This will be the first time I'm knitting any of her patterns, and I hope that by picking something that's not the Lakes pullover, which everyone seems to have already knit, this will be a little more interesting to follow along with. So yeah. time to try this on because I've been working on the body for just an evening really, but I didn't know where I was really with it. And I've got this, the remainder of this ball, and then 2 more skeins of yarn. So I want to make sure that I have enough to complete the sleeves before I kind of use all this on the body and then regret it. I think to stay true to how the Babaà looks, I want this to be kind of a longer body, maybe hit like the top of my thigh. So I think I've got a little while to go, but so far it's looking really good. If I get closer, oh, it's quite dark, but you can see the neck detailing. I'll just move my hair. Looks quite like the Babaà. It's got a rather significant shoulder drop, which is rolling in, but it hits sort of just about here-ish on my arm. So yeah, I'm really happy with it so far, and I'm gonna knit through this ball of yarn and then I think I'll move on to the sleeves. I have done something really stupid, so I just wanted to jump on here and tell you what I've done and sort of talk through my thoughts on it. So basically I have been knitting this first sleeve. I'm nearly done with the 30 centimetres that you need to knit before you start the cuff, and I was just reading through the pattern to check whether or not it was 30 centimetres I needed to knit, and I realised that if I'd read ahead in the instructions a little bit, I would have noticed that I was supposed to be doing decreases every 6 rounds of the sleeve, and I haven't been doing any. So right now the sleeve looks like just a big rectangular tube, and I think what I'm gonna do is, because I'm so close to the end, rather than rip it back, I think I'm potentially just gonna decrease quite quickly right before the cuff to make like a balloon type sleeve. The Babaà Inspo, the sweater number 11, I've been looking at pictures online, and in some pictures the sleeve does look quite balloony, and in others it looks like a tapered sleeve. So I'm gonna have a go and see how I feel about just like making a bit of a balloon and then doing the cuff as instructed in the pattern. And if that looks good, I'll replicate it on the other sleeve. If it looks bad, I will start the other sleeve, knit that through as instructed with the decreases, and then rip this one back. I feel like potentially it's either making it so that I have like basically knitted 3 sleeves, or it's gonna be fine and I'll just have made an accidental adjustment that I'm happy with. It could be more time consuming, but I do think it could potentially be time saving as well. And I'm not someone who, if I make a mistake, like immediately rips the whole thing out. I kind of go with the flow when I'm knitting. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna see how it goes with a little bit of an adjusted decrease frequency, and if it's bad then I tried it and I can move on, and if it's good I don't have to rip anything back. So yeah, that's where I think I'm at with this. But I mean, so far from what I can show you, it's looking, to me at least, really a lot like the sweater number 11, so I'm quite happy with it. And I've gotten past all of the initial struggles that I was having with the pattern, and it's just kind of running away from me now, so I'm full steam ahead with it, which is good. I do realise as well, I mean, I'm looking out the window right now and it's blue skies and sunny, and I'm probably not going to finish this until like mid to end of April. I'm hoping mid-April, but it's definitely not the weather for a 100% wool giant sweater. But oh well, I mean, this project definitely took me much longer than I anticipated, and sometimes that's just the way it is. It's always cold in England, so I know that I will have use for this as soon as the weather turns cold again. And it is still early spring, so there is the potential for the weather to turn on a dime. So yeah, anyway, that is where I am at with this. I just wanted to chat to the camera and sort of update you on what I've done, which is a silly mistake, but it happens. I ripped it back. Last time I spoke to you, I said that I was going to continue this sleeve even though I'd omitted all of the increases and just see how it looked as sort of more of a bubble sleeve. But I was knitting on it last night and it just looked so bad and I couldn't keep doing it, so I ripped it all back, rewound the yarn into a ball, and we are starting from scratch. I feel like, for me, this is the right choice. I was looking at a bunch of people's projects of the Nest sweater in Ravelry, and also some pictures of the Babaà number 11, and it just seems like the sleeve tapers. It doesn't seem like there's any type of ballooning, which I thought previously there might be, but yeah, I think this is a better choice. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna knit on this for a little while. The sun is shining though, and I kind of want to go outside, so we'll see how far we can get with this today. So as I work on this sleeve, I kind of wanted to just chat about a few things that I have coming up project-wise. I showed in my last video, my Copenhagen video, some knitting for olive yarn that I received while I was away for a sweater that I want to knit next. And the original plan for that yarn was to make another solid coloured Neve sweater, which is one of my own designs. It's actually my first design. But the more I look at the yarn and the more I look at the Neve, I feel like with such a bold colour, I would prefer to have something less drapey and a bit more structured. So I'm slightly tempted to forego my original plan and instead cast on something that I was debating doing for this video, which is the Lakes Pullover by Ozetta. I feel like everyone on social media is making this sweater right now, and the yarn, if you haven't seen, is a kind of bright orangey red colour, and I think it would just look fantastic as this Lakes pullover. I'll include a picture of the yarn and the pullover somewhere here, so you can get an idea of what I mean, but I'd love for you guys to let me know in the comments what you think. Should it be a Neve or should it be a Lakes pullover? I really am leaning towards lace pullover, but I'd love to know what you think. I was also considering maybe doing a cardigan. I posted a video on my Instagram a while back finding pattern dupes for the Babaà, I think it's the cardigan 51 or 15, I can't remember which. I'll also put that here. But I can't find a pattern that I love for that, so I'm leaning towards the lace pullover. I also have another pattern that I would like to launch in the summer, which is a boat neck top, tank top. Actually, it's literally just sitting right there, so let me just grab it for you. This is the boat neck tank top design that I want to come out with for the summer. It's kind of boxy and a little cropped. It's got garter stitch rolled hem detail on the neck and the bottom hem, and it's all knit in one piece. You do knit the front and back flat and then join in around at the underarms, but there's no seaming because you just pick up stitches, so it's pretty easy. This version is in Knitting for Olive Merino. I would not wear this in the summer, it is definitely too warm. The only reason I made this is because I couldn't get this colour in the cotton merino, so I figured because I live in the UK where it's quite cold all the time, merino tank wouldn't go amiss, but I wouldn't recommend that. What I did knit it in initially for the sample was a cotton merino, and then I made a cashmere version as well, and both of those are much more lightweight and summer appropriate, so yeah, that one's on the horizon as well. And yeah, I think that is everything that I have planned knit wise for now. I do have some whips that I've kind of abandoned a little bit in favour of working on this, so I need to pick those up before I can start my bright red sweater, because they are both using the needles and the leads that I would need to start a new project, so probably not going to get to any of those plans for a little bit, but that's okay, and plans change. I think that's sort of the beauty of this hobby. The sky's the limit with what you can plan to do and think about doing and then do or not do, and you can kind of change your mind, which I often do. I think it's great to make plans, and I have loads of ideas all the time, but sometimes my mood changes and I don't end up knitting the things that I thought I might at some point. So yeah, kind of a flexible plan at the moment, but I really do want at least the lace pullover in the near future. I'd also love to hear what you guys are working on or planning to work on, and I'm kind of curious as well whether or not you guys do summer knits. I've been hearing a lot of mixed opinions on tank tops and t-shirt knitting and summer knitting in general. I personally am very pro summer knits, obviously, because I wouldn't have come up with this otherwise, but yeah, I've had a lot of people on either side of the fence, so let me know if you're pro or against summer knitting. Sunny Sunday today, and I'm just finishing my first sleeve for this sweater. I've made myself a little coffee, I've had a shower, which is why my hair's wet, and I'm just going to sit and finish up the ribbing on this for a little while, and then get on with the rest of my day. I feel like there is nothing better than the first sip of coffee in the morning. I don't know if you guys drink coffee also, but I just can't stop. So I made some adjustments to the decrease frequency on this first sleeve because I feel like the Babaà sleeves are famously oversized and I didn't want to risk slimming it out too much. So for this size, I think you're supposed to decrease every 6th row. I decreased every 7th and I just did one less repeat than I was supposed to. So I only have 2 more stitches than the pattern intends, but I just thought it might be better to err on the side of a little bit bigger of a sleeve, and then I can get that kind of oversized look that I'm going for. The only thing I would say is that I'm slightly worried that I won't have enough yarn. This is my second to last ball, so I thought that I would be able to get 2 sleeves out of this single ball, but I've definitely used more than half for this sleeve, which is fine, it's not a problem. The only thing is that I'm not yet finished with the body of the sweater, and I thought I could knit it a fair bit longer than it is already, and that just might not happen, which again, not a problem. Oh, I've dropped a stitch here. This is crazy, I've just left it on my needles and not put any kind of, I don't have any needle caps and all of my holders are busy, so I've just left it, which is a bit rogue, but should be fine. Yeah, anyway, I'm a little worried it's going to be more cropped than I intended, but I'm quite short, so I don't think it'll look cropped. I just wanted the proportions of this sweater to match well with itself, and I'm not sure how it's gonna look now, but I mean that's the thing with knitting with a yarn that is not easily accessible in the UK. I'm just gonna have to work with what I've got. I can't get more very easily. So yeah, the sleeve compared to the body is looking quite long. That always happens, I find, with sweaters, but I just don't want it to be, yeah, too cropped. So fingers crossed. I mean, we'll see soon enough how it turns out. And I've not got much more of the sleeve ribbing to go. I'm thinking I'm going to do the same amount of rib rows on each sleeve as I did on the neckline, just for some continuity, and then I'll do the same at the bottom hem. Although I know I've seen a lot of girls wear their Babaà sweaters and roll the cuff, and it rolls, like just the ribbing will roll over on itself evenly, and still look about as long as this, if not longer. So I know it's quite a long ribbed cuff on the original, but I'm going to get, I think I've done 14 rows up here, so I'm going to get to 14 on the cuff, have a look, see if I like it, and then also have a think about how much yarn I have, because that might just dictate what we can do, which is slightly unfortunate, but yeah. Oh well. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day, evening, wherever you are, and working on something fun as well. And I'd also be curious to know whether or not anyone else is knitting a Babaà dupe, because I feel like it's sort of swept the internet at the minute. And if you are, what colour are you making, and what sweater are you duping? Otherwise I'm just going to work on this for a bit, and I will see you when the sleeve is finished. I am just quickly hopping on to give you a quick update of the sleeve. I've just bound off, as you can see, and I think it looks great. I'm glad that I did the decreases, and obviously it's going to block, I think, a little bit longer than where it's sitting now, so it'll kind of give that more oversized look. So I'm just going to do the same on the other sleeve, and I said I'm a little bit worried about where the sweater is currently hitting, and I still am. I think I'm slightly worried that I'll only have enough yarn left to do the ribbing and the bind off, but if that's the case, then it is what it is, and I'll just try and block it a bit longer. But yeah, I'm really happy with how the sleeve has turned out. I think it looks great. I think the Italian bind off on the cuff is great, and that is everything I have to update you with for now. So I'll catch you when the next sleeve is done. I don't remember the last time I updated you, so I'll just show you what I have now. I have finished both sleeves, as you can see, finished them with the sewn bind off, and I matched the amount of ribbing on the cuffs to the amount on the neckline. I think that looks quite nice. It's like finished looking. And now I am to the point on the body where I think I'm ready for the ribbing. I have this much yarn left, and I feel like this is potentially more than enough for 14 rows of ribbing at the end and an Italian bind off. So I'm slightly leaning towards playing a little bit of yarn chicken with this and just knitting a few more rounds on the body, so the finished blocked jumper sits more like a Babaà jumper. Yeah, so I think I might do that, and if I don't have enough, then it's just a case of ripping it back. I could do all sorts of things and not be lazy. I could weigh this. I could just do the ribbing now. I could try the sweater on and see where it falls and if I want to finish the body of it now. But I'm really lazy and I slightly just feel like chancing it. So I think I'll knit maybe 3 more rounds on the body, give it a try on and go from there. But yeah, so far it's looking really good. We're nearly at the finish line, and this is pretty much exactly what I envisioned when I wanted to make a dupe of the sweater number 11 from Babaà. And I think I've like just about done it, so yeah, I can't wait to get this off the needles. It's been really, really warm here recently, but I'm sure the April weather will turn and we'll have some colder days where a woolly jumper is appropriate. can't believe I'm saying this, but it's finished. I still need to block it, obviously. We've got some puckering at the sleeves and some unevenness down on the hem, around the neck and on the cuffs, but I'm sure all of that will block out nicely. I'm hoping it will block a little bit longer as well, but I'm slightly worried the neck might kind of flare out in blocking. So I think if that happens, I'll just insert some elastic around the neck to keep it its shape. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think the colour is lovely. I'll get a little closer so you can see it properly. But yeah, the marling on this colour is really pretty. It kind of has a bit of like a warm creamy tone, and obviously the grey and kind of cooler cream tone as well. So I think it's going to go with a lot of different things that I own. This is the neck, which I could have made a bit longer, and the same with the bottom hem, but I was really running out of yarn, so I thought let's just go with what we've got. And I wanted to make sure that I'd have enough to obviously do the sewn bind off on the hem. So yeah, ideally this would have been kind of maybe even double the length for the ribbing, and I could always rip back and start the ribbing a little sooner on the body, but this sewn bind off on the bottom took me 4 days of just sitting in the evenings and doing it for ages. So yeah, I really don't want to rip it back now, but I'm gonna get this blocked and hopefully it'll dry within the next few days. The weather's kind of cold now, so we'll have to see, but I will show you again when it's blocked and finished, and we'll chat through all of my thoughts and feelings about the pattern, yarn choice, everything. So if you want to hear everything I thought about this project, then hang on. And also I was thinking we could maybe pick my next project vlog together, so stay tuned for that as well. Okay, here we are, finished finally with this project. This has taken me much longer than I expected. As you saw kind of over the course of the video, I did have some growing pains when it came to this pattern and the construction. Obviously this is no fault of the designers, as I've said, but it's just me being so used to patterns by petite knit and my favourite things knitwear and that kind of style of writing, and presuming that this would be the same, and then presuming the construction would also be the same. So it's taken a while, but we're finally done and I'm super happy with the result. I'm wearing the jumper now, as you can see, and I will insert some cutaways so you can see kind of the full jumper and how it looks on. Just to remind you, I knit the size medium and I used the Handwerker's Garn by Halehold in the colour Sand for this. So final thoughts. If you are considering making your own version of a Babaà jumper number 11, I'd say do it. I think the pattern, the Nest Sweater by Morsa Knit, is almost an exact dupe. I think it's pretty indistinguishable from the Babaà that I wanted, and I love it. I know I'm going to get so much wear out of this jumper that I've even planned another one already, because I think I need it in a darker colour in my wardrobe as well. So I'll have the light one and the dark one, and I think they'll be great. I honestly feel like potentially this jumper I know it's a bold statement, but I think this jumper might be my favourite ever finished object, just because it's so my style. I really like the finishing on it. I think it looks like I bought it. It's got that kind of like rustic look that a lot of higher end knits have nowadays, so it looks maybe more artisanal than handmade, and I really love that about it. The wool that I used is quite woolly, it's very rustic. I'm wearing it next to skin now and I can feel it, so I'd prefer to wear something underneath it, but I'm okay, I'm not like dying to get it off my body. But that's something to bear in mind if you also want to use this yarn or another 100% wool that is quite rustic. The next version I want to knit might be in a bit more of a kind of softer merino yarn, or I'll go again with the quite rustic wool. I've got a dark brown that would be brilliant for this. So we'll see where we go with that. Once I got past the speed bumps, I really enjoyed the process of this knit, and I think if my struggles are making you a little bit nervous to cast this on or go with this pattern over another pattern, I'd say if I can do it, anyone can do it. I was probably not in the mood to learn some new techniques when I started this jumper, and I think I let that frustrate me a bit more than I maybe would have at a different point. So that's just something to bear in mind. I think it's absolutely doable, and if you are a more experienced knitter than I am, or you have knit a variety of different pattern designers in the past and a bunch of different constructions, then you won't struggle with this. It's purely a me problem. Yeah, I think that's everything I have to say. Overall, I'm really happy with the result. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I'd love if you could leave me a comment below letting me know what you're working on, and if you have or want to dupe a Babaà sweater as well. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!